coming tonight. I am Stacey Cochran, and the discussion tonight is going to be in three parts. The first part, I'd like to do a little bit of a reading from my most recent novel, The Colorado Sequence, which is for sale here at Borders tonight. Also, I'm going to make a deal to anybody who writes a review of The Colorado Sequence at Amazon.com that I'll feature your name as a character in the next novel that I write. So I need some reviews, so entertain that idea. And then the second part of the evening tonight, what I'll do is talk about publishers. And I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. And then the third part will actually talk about literary agents. And I've got a query letter that I'd like to pass around for you to take a look at, and we can discuss that in depth. So, reading, publishers, literary agents. Again, thank you all for coming. This is from the Colorado Sequence. I'll read the first page and a half of this novel. Set on the Caribbean island of Cary. It's an interview setting type situation. Chapter 1, The Caribbean Island. Dr. Amy Levine's interview with the U.S. government took place 90 miles east of Miami, Florida. Cary, Great Abaco Island. The island was privately owned by a firm known as Nanotech, but no Nanotech employee had ever set foot on the island. No Nanotech employee had ever set foot anywhere, for that matter, because Nanotech only existed on paper. You've known this, Agent Noah Johnston said. You've known about the line. Levine's chestnut brown eyes shone in sunlight coming in from the window. At close distance, the reflection of the world could be seen in her eyes. They were brown with a light trail of blue around the edges. Is that right, Dr. Levine? Johnston said. It's what I've worked on the last 14 years, Levine said. The Colorado Sequence of the line. It's what my mom and dad worked on before they died. Her eyes focused. She watched Noah Johnston from a denim-colored club chair. Johnston was across the room, standing. He wore a white shirt, a gray tie loosened at the neck, brown trousers, and soft leather Oxfords. He was casual, but at the mention of Levine's parents, Johnston became uneasy, his eyes not meeting anyone else's. There were two other operatives in the room, Agents Andy Barnes and Sarah McKenzie. The conversation appeared relaxed and informal, but the answers Levine provided would determine whether she returned to the U.S. alive in 7 days, or was sent home in an urn, a few ounces of gray ash. The lawn maintenance crew was outside the house, Levine saw, with leaf blowers, weed whackers, and shiny red riding mowers. It looked like a dozen men, each steely-eyed, or so Levine thought. 4 dock workers were down by the marina. Nanotech owned a 300-foot Bugatti that rested at the deep-water dock like a sleek building. There were 6 ski boats tied near the Bugatti, children around a towering parent. A dozen jet skis patrolled the waters beyond the marina, and it suddenly reached her in a flash. An image swept through her mind like moving pictures. A man lifted up his weed whacker and began firing. Explosions. The guys on the Bugatti were running toward the front of the boat. There was a fire in the cockpit. The helicopter on the Bugatti was trying to take off. Noah saw the sharp look wash over Levine's eyes. You all right, Dr. Levine? He said. Sarah McKenzie looked from Levine to Johnston. Their eyes met. Andy Barnes stared at Levine. The dock workers, Levine said. She was sitting up in the chair staring out the window. She knew. She knew what they were going to do. The lawn maintenance guys. The 3 operatives looked from one to the other. What about them? Sarah McKenzie said, a hint of her Georgia accent coming through. What about the lawn maintenance guys? McKenzie had short red hair and green eyes, both fierce and pleasant. Besides Levine, she was the most intelligent human on the island. What about the dock workers? Johnston said. What about the lawn maintenance? There was a pause. Dr. Amy Levine's eyes seemed to drift deep in thought to a faraway place. Her pupils became narrow, focused, black dots tight as 2 rays of light. Her eyelids blinked. Then her mind gathered together the full force of its conscious and unconscious powers. Levine looked around the room at each of them, calmly, slowly. "They're gonna kill us," she said. "They're gonna kill us all."